Hey Virgos, welcome to my channel Intuitive Tarot Empath. I'm Robin, and this is your general reading for July 2018. In the event that this doesn't resonate with you, or you just want to know more about the energy surrounding you throughout the end of June, all through July, and beginning of August, go check out the videos for your sun, moon, and or rising signs. I'm super excited to do this video. Yeah, let's just get into it. All right, so I'm going to shuffle with your energies in mind. You can fast forward through this if you don't want to watch this. There's my cat. Can you not? Please, thank you. All right, so what is the energy surrounding Virgo? Love and relationships. I'm sorry if my voice is a little gravelly. I actually just woke up. So this is the first thing that I'm doing with my day. I've been thinking about it for a while, in fact, because I've been so excited to do this video and reconnect with my Virgos. I love you guys. All right. What's the energy surrounding Virgo? In love, work, travel, home. All right, so I think we have about 3 more shuffles. All right, this is the last one. You've got some fluid shuffles today. That's pretty good. All right, so I think that middle one's speaking. All right, so we have the 4 of Swords. Sorry, I just had to, okay. The Queen of Cups. All right. The 3 of Wands. The Moon. The 3 of Swords. Very interesting. Okay. The Hermit. That's your card. The, oh, I'm sorry. I'm still waking up. The 8 of Swords. The 4 of Cups. The World. And the Star in reverse. All right. And we have the Empress. So let me take a minute to look at this and put it all together. So I want to say that Virgo, in the month of July, you guys are going to be coming into your own. The Empress is somebody, it's usually the card of pregnancy. So for some of you, in a very literal sense, if you were looking to get pregnant, this could be, this could be a successful pregnancy. It's interesting also that you've gotten a lot of 3s, but we'll talk about that when we get into it. So, or it could be that you're, if you're not looking to get pregnant, this could be you're looking pregnant with an idea. Usually this is about fertility, so it could be creatively fertile, or it could be literally fertile. It could be opening your own business. It could be gestating the beginnings of a new relationship, or it could just be finally being fulfilled on your own after a heartbreak. We'll get into that because you have a ton of 3s here. So it seems that we have the 3 of Cups in reverse. And usually I see this as a good card regardless of if it's in reverse or if it's upright. But usually this is about celebrating with friends and enjoying each other's company, but in conjunction with the cards that are around it, it seems as though you're coming out of a really difficult period of time and you're finding it hard to celebrate with friends. And it's little by little you're getting yourself out there. You know what? We're just going to get into the reading that's on the ottoman. And then we'll go back to the cards that are on the bottom of the deck. So what we have starting us off is the 4 of Swords. So the Four of Swords is usually about meditation. It's about taking yourself out of the game for a minute. It's about contemplation. It's about spending time by yourself, sometimes in your own thoughts. So this suggests that you have been looking inward, that maybe you've had some anxieties or fears or sadness that have kept you kind of by yourself and on your own and all that kind of stuff. And it's kept you, maybe you haven't been putting yourself out there so much, maybe it's kept you at home, because what's crossing you, and this is what's interesting, is that the Queen of Cups is crossing you. So I think that for some Virgos, you guys have been on your own, in solitude, whether it be at home or not, but kind of like away from people, maybe even away from family and friends, kind of taking yourself out of social situations. And July, Cancer season especially, sees you putting yourself out there again, or wanting to, which speaks to the idea of the Empress. The Empress who, you know, is sitting confidently in her chair. She's got kind of the sunrise or sunset behind you. It's not really rising or setting so much as it's risen, but you know, she's kind of illuminated by golden light. I feel like she is that same energy that the Queen of Cups is giving out. So this idea that, you know, Virgos have been in solitude but are now ready to put themselves out there again. I feel like that cup, because the cups represent emotion, is the Queen of Cups holding her heart. So it's like holding her heart out and putting herself in a place where she's ready to be amongst people again. For those of you that have taken yourself away from friends and family, this is you ready to kind of, oh goodness, what's the word? Not re-ingratiate, reestablish. Oh my goodness, it's on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, we're not going to waste time trying to figure out what the word is. But this is you trying to reestablish friendships, or, you know, like coming back in and saying, I'm sorry that I haven't been around for a while, but, you know, I just had to take some time for myself. Or if this is you looking for a new relationship, this is you having done the work to get yourself better from a heartbreak and now ready to give your heart to somebody else. Because what we have here is, I have a feeling that for some of you Virgos, and this is very much to me reading like a love reading because of all of the, I don't know, just the feeling of it. I feel like for some of you Virgos, what happened was you put someone back out into the world that you were in relationship with, whether it was a friendship or, whether it was a friendship or an act, you know, like an intimate relationship. This could also be a family member that you were having issues with. This could also be a work situation where you quit or you broke up or you, I feel like there was also a level of like calling someone's bluff. So for some of you, it could be that like you said, let's take some time apart, thinking that they were going to come back to you. And so this is you kind of being hopeful. For some of you, it could have been that someone else, like a third party, was getting involved in your relationship with this company or this person. And so it was like, let me take some time to myself. You know, I'm going to put my ships out to sea. And I think that there was a part of you that thought that they were going to come back. The job, the person, the boyfriend or girlfriend, the husband or wife, you know, the partner in general. And so this is you hopeful. You could even have been dealing with a fire sign. But, you know, this is just a general, like you putting your ships out to sea and waiting for them to come back. And I think the heartbreak comes in when they didn't. So I think for some of you, it was either that they realized that they wanted to be on their own, and so they ended the relationship, or you realized that them coming back wasn't going to work the way you wanted it to, and so you ended the relationship. it's interesting that there are 2 3s in tandem with this, because I think that for some of you, like I said, there's this really strong sense that a third person got involved in the relationship, and that's the straw that broke the camel's back. So either the person that you broke up with chose the other person over you, or you decided that you just couldn't come back from that kind of heartbreak. Because if Virgos, if this, for those of you that this was the case, I am so sorry. I've been there myself. It is like the worst, one of the worst feelings. I wouldn't wish it upon anybody. So I think that you Virgos have been really nursing some serious wounds. So I'm not surprised that I see that 4 of Swords in the middle. As something that you've been dealing with, kind of like dealing with this heartbreak, and the way to do that is to take yourself out of the game and kind of like stay home, stay out of social situations, which is also speaks to this 3 of Cups, this idea that you're slowly getting yourself back out there again. You're slowly starting to feel like yourself again. But there's some hindrances there, because poor Virgos, Virgos. It's so interesting because the way that you guys love, not all of you, but some of you, can be so logical. And if you're with someone who is runs on high emotion, and Virgo's just like, but I did all these things that showed you that I love you. I showed you. Like, what do you mean you're not happy? Or what do you mean you're choosing this other person over me? Or, so, and it's just, but Virgos are so sweet and kind and gentle and sensitive. And I feel like sometimes, because they're so logical, they can come off as cold. And that is so not what a Virgo is at all. I feel like they're such stable, solid, like sensitive meaning like aware, like they're very thoughtful and in tune. But because you guys are such a logical sign, it's just so interesting to see you guys in love, because if you're, like I said, I know I keep repeating myself, but like when you're with somebody who's incredibly emotional, and then they do something that's a reaction to the emotions that they're having, Virgo's like, wait a second, like, what do you mean? Well, like, I've been here the whole time. I've loved you this whole time. I tried to show you that in the things that I did, or the decisions that I made, or, so that's, I feel like, where most Virgos are coming from. And so I am so sorry for the Virgos that had to walk away from a job or felt this intense heartbreak. And I want to say that it could have even been relatively recently, within the past like month or two. So here we have the moon. So the moon is the ruler of Cancer. It's about like the tide of emotions, but it can also be about secrets really being revealed. So for some of you Virgos, it could be that you're still in a place where you feel like not everything has been revealed to you yet, or there are still little pieces of the puzzle that are eking out. So like if you're finding, emails or text messages or little pieces of information from mutual friends that you have, or people who are still back at the office that you left, or the job that you left in general, doesn't have to be an office, obviously, but, you feel as though that, like, when are the secrets going to stop? Why does it seem like stuff just keeps, like, information just keeps rolling in? But I think you're coming to terms with these things, or maybe it was through the revealing of a secret, or like you found the thing, the email, the text message, the phone, somebody calls and says, I'm looking for so-and-so, and you're like, who's this? And they hang out, and it's just, like a weird situation. So I think that you've been surrounded by secrets. There could even be a fear that there's more secrets to be revealed, and you've just been so hurt by the situation that, you're in a place where you've kind of surrounded yourself with a shield so that you don't have to learn any more of these secrets, because it's been super painful. But I think that also the moon in the position that it's in is telling you to listen to your intuition. So it's also very interesting if you read the cards this way, that like, listen to your intuition. So if you need those moments of rest and meditation, of solitude, the moon is saying take them. And the moon is also saying that if you're willing to put yourself out there again, do it. Like, trust what your mind heart combo of intuition is telling you to do, because I think that there's also something else for you on the horizon. I think that putting yourself out there means that someone else is going to come in, and I think that you're feeling that, but there's some hesitation there. So what we have coming into if this is all the stuff that you've been dealing with, coming into especially July, all throughout July, there's going to be this getting back out there in the world energy. So the Hermit in reverse is saying that you might have been in a time of solitude where you were seeking answers to your questions and you were looking inward for those answers. But now, instead of looking inward, you're looking outward, because where he's positioned in the deck is toward the future. And so he's looking, he's no longer in himself or in his own head. He's looking to the future and getting himself out there again. That light could even be illuminating new friendships, new relationships, new job opportunities. It could even be illuminating the path out of solitude and into more social settings and social situations. Nines in tarot are also about endings of things, so that new beginnings can new beginnings can blossom. So I think that this is a period of time that's the ending to your solitude. But you were so hurt, Virgo, that I think also it's hard for you to, you're still a little tender. Your heart's a little tender. So I think that the focus for you guys in July is going to be more on your friendships, on your family relationships, getting out there socially, because what's interesting is that this seems to be, she hops on the ottoman and then she wants to chew on the cards, and then I have like little teeth marks in my cards, like a vampire's been at them. Anyway, so the Eight of Swords suggests that, and also the card above it, which is the Four of Cups. I'm going to put them together because they really do work together. The Hermit is suggesting that you want more social situations, you want to get out there, you want to be amongst friends and family, getting yourself the new job, putting yourself in the position that finds, kind of more people around you. But this is what you're met with emotionally. I feel like this is kind of what if the swords are your head and the cups are your heart, this is, the pervasive energy within you that you've been trying to move past. So the Eight of Swords is about not being able to move forward, but also being the reason why you can't move forward. And I think the reason why you can't move forward is because you're stuck on the things that you lost. And so you bind yourself up. It's like you bind your heart, you bind your arms, you bind your eyes, you bind your brain. And what you don't see is that right in front of you is the opening, because you're so busy being stuck inside yourself. And then with the Four of Cups, the Four of Cups, he doesn't see this opportunity that's being handed to him. All he can see is the disappointment of what's been left behind or what's been lost. Interesting, too, that it's three cups, just like the Three of Swords and the Three of Wands. And the Three of Cups in reverse on the bottom of the deck. So you guys are dealing with some serious, serious heartbreak. And it's not that you don't want to see the opportunity. It's that your emotions are so overwhelming, like the tide, that they make it feel impossible for you to move forward. So I think that for the month of July, there's going to be, because your heart is still tender, there's going to still be like a slowness. It's going to be slow to come out of the hermit phase and the meditation phase and the phase of solitude. But I think that that's not a bad thing. Excuse me. That's not a bad thing at all. I think Virgos, take your time. Take your time. Take care of yourself. Because I know sometimes, because Virgos are so logical, and I had a particular Virgo in my life who told me this story, that he had broken up with somebody in August. Actually, this, for being completely real here, this is an ex-boyfriend of mine. And he broke up with his girlfriend in August, and then he and I had started dating by October. But I didn't know that, and we were talking about relationships, and he asked me how long I had been single for, and at the time I had been single for about a year. And then I asked him, and he said, oh, since August. And I was like, wow, that's not a lot of, a lot of rebound time. And he said, well, what's the point of being sad? I was upset over it, and she was the first girl who I ever had feelings like that for, but, you got to get back on the saddle. And thinking back on that, it probably would have behooved him to have a little more time to himself to kind of get over it and to really nurse his wounds and take care of his heart and all that kind of stuff. So Virgos, from that experience, and from what I see here, because it seems very similar, don't force yourself to start something new with somebody if you're not ready for it. If it's, even if it's a job, even if it's re-ingratiating yourself with family and friends, even if it's, especially with dating, I think take the time you need to nurse the wounds, heal yourself first. And that's what the Empress energy is giving you. It's giving you an opportunity to really go within and gestate a new emotional energy for yourself. So if you need time to be alone, there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, what's happening is, if the first couple of weeks of July are about you kind of feeling stuck in your emotions, stuck in your head, trying to come out of this hermit phase, the world is going to swing back in your favor. Luck is going to swing back in your favor. So the World card is usually about being surrounded by good energy, surrounded by people and places that will, it's just good, good juju, so to speak. So this is the card saying that, you're protected. There's all of these things around you, all of these people around you that want to see you get better. This is also the supportive card in that I really believe that you will get better. In fact, I don't just believe it, I know that you will. And all of these cards are saying, take the time you need to take care of yourself. Do the things that make you happy. So that's what the World card is saying, is that the world is on your side. The energy in the universe are in your favor. They are conspiring with you to move you forward past this feeling that you're feeling, past this feeling of wanting to be solitude all the time, past this feeling of, feeling like you can't move forward. And then what's interesting is that the Star card, this can mean one of two things in reverse. So one, this could mean the same thing that it does when it is when it's upright, which means that fate is ushering in something for you. But I also think that for a lot of you, it's that fate is ushering in something for you, but because your energy is not ready to receive it quite yet, it's going to take a little bit more time. So maybe more toward August, which I'll have to do the readings for you guys for August and see what comes up, because I'm really excited to see how you work on yourselves this month. So with this card, just some of you, I feel like that are in your own heads and are asking all the why questions, especially after a bad breakup. Why did it happen? Am I ever going to feel this way again about somebody? Will I ever find somebody again? Will I ever find somebody again who meshes, so well with my personality? Because I have a feeling that for a lot of you, it was this feeling of, I'm going to put this situation or this person back out into the world. We're going to take a little bit of a break. I'm waiting for them to come back to me, and then ultimately they didn't, and it came as kind of a shock. Whereas for the others of you that this is this scenario, it was about having some time on your own, reflecting on the situation and realizing that it doesn't work for you. But either way, it put you in such a difficult headspace because you really loved this person and you felt really strongly for them, obviously. I mean, this could have even been the kind of, like for some of you Virgos, like, I want to marry this person, or if we're talking about like a familial relationship or a friendship, I mean, it all kind of reads the same in terms of like putting someone out, waiting for them to come back, and then not getting the response that you thought you were going to get, that there was some sort of like, like somebody who you trusted stabbed you in the back. And I mean, this could also be at work too. But, the star card saying that Virgos are asking themselves a lot of questions. This is also supported by the Hermit card and the Four of Swords, that will I ever find a person who I love this much again? What's going to happen next? I think that Virgos just have a lot of questions right now. Let's see. Let's do some clarification card on that star card. I want to see what the deal is with that. But none of this is bad. This is just, actually, Virgos, you're in a pretty great place. In the times when I felt this way, sometimes it was best for me. One, I watched a ton of tarot card videos because I needed hope. God, I can feel the energy off of this. And it's like bringing me back to that place. I also, aside from watching a ton of tarot card videos to just try to get my mind off of it and to give myself some hope that like better things were coming, I took the time that I needed for myself to get myself better. I downloaded all of the breakup songs on iTunes. I picked an anthem for myself. I'm Still Standing by Elton John was my jam for about the entire summer 2016. If you have the money and the time to do so, travel. I remember when I went through my big breakup, I was lucky enough that I'm a teacher, so I had the summers off, and I had saved, like I didn't go anywhere that year. And then that summer I ended up going to Ireland and Portugal for about a month, and that was invigorating. And I think that getting yourself out there and hanging out with family and friends, or hanging out with the group of people that supports you, even there was one day where I like couldn't get off my couch. I was crying hysterically, like spontaneously crying hysterically. And my friend called me and was like, "What are you doing?" And I said, I'm crying. I can't get off the couch. And she said, "Come with me. I'm going down to the board to like register my daughter for health benefits," because she had just had a baby a couple months before. And I said, "No, I can't stop crying." And she's like, "Put some pants on. You can cry in the car." And then we ended up laughing the entire afternoon. So I think that, taking care of yourself. And I think the thing that helped me was working hard to put the focus back on me and not so much on what is the other person doing? Why aren't they with me? Why don't they love me? Why did they choose somebody else? Because my situation was that I was with this person for 2 years, and they were dating someone for the latter half of our relationship, and then ended up choosing her over me. And it was such a shock to my system. And the way that the cards are reading just sounds so much like what I went through. So Virgos, I can feel for you. I'm so sorry if I'm like TMIing or oversharing, but you guys really have my heart this month, for the pain that you guys have had to endure and what you guys are going through mentally and emotionally, which also plays on you physically. And like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be a breakup. You know, breakups of friendships or familial relationships or jobs can be equally as difficult to endure. So, you know, it's a loss, it's a death. You know, it's not an actual, you know, not necessarily an actual physical death, but it's the death of hope. Like, you hope that you were going to progress forward with this person, and now you kind of have to nurse the wounds of knowing that, you know, that even if you were to get back together, and I don't necessarily see that in the cards, but if you were to get back together, if this person was to come back and say, I miss you, I love you, you know, the whole nine, it wouldn't be the same. And I feel like I'm only saying this not to hurt your feelings, but it wouldn't be the same on your part because you've already endured so much with them. Like, this already happened and it would still be in your brain. And I'm not, you know, I'm not saying this to be mean. I'm saying this because I love my Virgos and I've been there. And you guys, I know. I'm also a Virgo moon, so I feel you. All right, so here's the deal. This is a beautiful thing. The cards that came up as clarification cards for the star card are, this is the snake. So the snake has both the sun and the moon. Hold on, I just want to look at something real quick. The snake is an interesting card because, as you can tell, oh my goodness, it's holding a golden egg. So it's guarding something. Oh goodness. Sorry, hold on one second. Okay, anyway, so the, I just need to situate something. So the snake, I feel like what ends up happening is that you hold on to something very, tightly that you cultivate within yourself, and you protect it. The snake could suggest being careful. Okay, I think what it ultimately is being careful of people who you perceive to be snakes. So it's like you hold on to what you've cultivated within yourself so tightly, or you hold on to the next relationship so tightly, or you hold on to the friendship, you know, etc. so tightly that, you know, you protect it, you guard it. You'll see that the snake is wearing a little crown, so it's like he is the king of this domain. It's also a 7, so 7's about relationships. So I think that what the star card is saying is that the next relationship that comes in is you guard it, you protect it, you nurture it, you hold it like a golden egg, like you value it so much because you know how fleeting or fragile those kinds of feelings are, because they don't come with every person, they don't come with every relationship you have. And so you know, you really take care of it and nurture it. What's interesting is that whoever this next person is, because I really do think that this is about relationships. And I mean, for some of you, this could be the person coming back, and you nurturing the relationship. But I think for most of you, it's going to be a new person coming in, and you, more so that's the case. So, you know, a new person coming in and you feeling incredibly good about the relationship and taking care of it like you would a golden egg. And this is the relationship that for some of you, or most of you according to these cards, is going to turn into an engagement. So the ring, because this is the ring card, and the ring card is usually about engagements. So also the 2 and the 5 is a 7. 7 in astrology is about relationships, like contractual relationships, friends and enemies, and all that kind of stuff. This could also be about you finding a new job. For those of you that this is this is a general reading. I know I've talked about a lot about relationships. I apologize for those of you that came to this for work situations, but this could also be that you find a new job that you value and you nurture and take care of. And this is about signing the contract. This is about committing to the job and courting it for a while and seeing if you really want to commit, and then ultimately doing that. So that's the commitment. And then you have the card of luck. So there's a lot of luck surrounding you. There's a lot of, there's a lot of love to be had, Virgo, and there's a lot of potential, and you have a happy ending coming your way. You do have a happily ever after filled with luck and love and all the good things that you deserve, Virgo, because you take care of people and you take care of them so well. But it's just going to take a little time to get there because you still have to nurse your wounds. And so take care of yourself throughout the month of July, throughout the rest of June, all throughout July, however long you need. Don't rush into something because it's not fair to you, because you're still only going to see the disappointments that the disappointment of the relationship or the friendship or the job that you lost. Obviously with jobs it's a little bit different because I think, there's money involved with that. But, for relationships, you could take your time. So let's see, we're going to do one more card for the Guardian Angel Tarot cards, which is like the card of advice. And by like the card of advice, I mean it's the card of advice. So how to proceed with the next... Whoa, okay. Alright, so many of them fell out. Okay. So... what's interesting is that 4 cards fell out. Oh, and they all... Okay. So I'm going to choose the top and the bottom one from of the 4 that fell out. So we're going to start with this card. So it's the 7 of Emotion. So on the bottom of the card, there's a message. It says, your angels are asking you to make an important decision that you've been putting off. It's likely you know which choice you should make, but you're procrastinating so you don't upset someone else. Ask heaven for guidance and then make the choice that celebrates who you truly are. So there's also a little book that goes along with it. So 7 of Emotion is the equivalent of the 7 of Cups in the Rider-Waite Tarot deck. So sometimes it can be very difficult to make a choice. We may have multiple options that appeal to us, or perhaps we don't like any of the possibilities. Listen to your intuition. Are you taking the necessary time to choose wisely, or have you fallen into procrastination? If your guidance tells you that you're stalling, then move forward. Your body uses feelings as a way to guide you in making a correct decision. Listen to your emotional compass to know how and when to proceed. If you're still uncertain, ask your guardian angels for a sign. So additional meanings of this card: time to get focused, the need to release unhealthy choices, unproductive daydreaming, being unrealistic. So I think that this speaks to so much of what we were talking about you guys hesitating to move forward or feeling as though you're stuck. So I feel like that goes along with the whole thread of conversation pertaining to that particular topic. So this one I thought was very interesting because it's go within, and we've talked a lot about that this reading. So if you need the time to go within, do so. So the card says, you are a very intuitive person, and there are many wonderful insights that lie waiting inside you. Take time to be quiet and reflect upon the desires of your heart through meditation or prayer. There's no need to take action right now. Be patient with yourself. Oh my word. Didn't we talk about that? So Go within. You have amazing wisdom within you. Take some time to be quiet and listen to the voice of God and your guardian angels as they reach out to give you the answers that you're seeking. So for those of you that don't believe in God or are a different religion other than Christian or Catholic or, any of that, just, pray to a higher being or listen to your energy or listen to your intuition. So, I apologize if the God and guardian angels talk is a little bit too narrow. So, all right, continuing forward. Meditation and prayer are invaluable tools for you now. You may even notice that guidance comes to you in your dreams to provide exciting revelations with respect to your life purpose. This card isn't about action, but about becoming crystal clear about what it is you want to create. If you've been feeling worried about not taking action on your dreams, then release those concerns and be at peace. Patience is a virtue at this time. Your intuitive abilities are greatly enhanced, and it's important that you trust your intuition. Your emotions are like a powerful compass pointing you in the right direction. Follow them with confidence. Additional meanings of this card: spiritual growth and reflection, trusting your inner wisdom, patience with yourself, being completely trustworthy, believing in the kindness and wisdom of the universe, and following your own guidance. So I think that this is really a time of growth for you guys, and I think that it's like the 6 weeks before your birthday when you're kind of like a little bit tired and you're, it's almost like you're re-upping. So take the time you need to in order to really do the work on yourself. And there was something that they said in this little reading right here. This card isn't about action, but about becoming crystal clear about what it is you want to create. This is a time of manifestation. So write down all the things it is that you want and make sure that it is crystal clear, because let me tell you, the universe gives you exactly what you ask for, but sometimes it's not the way you thought it would be or the way you thought it would feel. So make sure that when you're making a special request or a requisition to the universe, be specific. All right, Virgo, I'm so sorry, but better days are coming. That star card is all the hope, the world, the Queen of Cups. Like you're moving toward a better place. So if you have any comments, questions, you can of course write them in the comments section below this video. Or if you have any questions for me, you can email me at intuitivetarotempath@gmail.com. I love to hear your stories and stuff. And I love to talk with you guys. So obviously keep me posted on how the month of July goes for you guys, or even how the month of June, the month of June has been going and whatnot. You guys are in my thoughts and prayers and heart, and sending you all the love and positivity to get you through difficult times for those of you that are dealing with, such heartache. Also, if you enjoyed this reading and you'd really like a personal reading of your own, you can check out my website, www.intuitivetarotempath.com. I would love to work with you. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope you have a wonderful month. I hope you guys take care of yourselves. I love you so much, and I'll see you in August. Bye.